Hey there. Welcome to the Pur'N'Kleen Podcast, episode number 8. My name is Rommel, and today we're going to talk about how to structure a mining organization. Hey everybody, Rommel here. This episode is dedicated to GameFleek, who asked me, how would I structure a mining organization? So let's talk about that. The supply chain. Let's first lay out a sample mining supply chain for a mining organization. If you want to learn more about supply chain management, I highly recommend that you check out episode number 7. But anyhow, in Star Citizen, it may look like this. You got your procurement system where you have your raw material and you got to move things from one place to another, from an asteroid to storage. You got your operating system where you take things, the raw material storage, and you refine it into a finished good. And you have your sales system where you basically sell your finished product. So in this supply chain, there's a few things we could point out. First and most obviously is that the entire mining process starts with acquiring the raw materials. You will want to have good ships and crew that can extract the most yield out of any given asteroid, that's obvious. But you will also want to have a good handle of where those supply points are, i.e. where the asteroids with the good raw materials are. Secondly, despite this being a mining organization, you notice that there's a lot of movement and transport involved. This makes managing transportation process and having good transport ships in your organization a vital component in the supply chain. Thirdly, there is a lot of need for warehouse space, so emphasis should be put in where, i.e. which systems you keep your inventory. It is unknown if hangar fees will be, even, if you will pay the same amount of hangar fees in one system than another, but you should expect this, and it would be wise to prepare for this. And so you should keep that in mind when preparing and structuring your organization. And lastly, you want to have good information on where your customer base is and what their demands are so that you can better serve their needs. And that is, not necessarily players per se, but say if you want to be mainly trading on a metal that is used a lot by the Banu, then you will want to be closer to Banu space. It's pretty obvious. So given all of that, how can you structure your mining organization? The core of the organization will be obviously your mining group. And the person that you place as the head of mining will need to be someone very capable and knowledgeable about the ins and outs of extracting the most ore from an asteroid. And the core responsibilities for the mining group are obviously safety, collect and mine raw material, discover raw material supply points, and transport raw material to raw material storage points. Your next department is the manufacturing group. This department will take the raw material and refine it into a finished product for you to sell. Responsibilities for this group are safety first, transport goods from raw material storage point to manufacturing refining area, refine the product into a finished product, and quality assurance every step of the way, and move goods into finished goods storage. Your next department is your sales group. This department will take the finished goods and sell them. Responsibilities include acquiring new customers, monitoring market prices, and delivering finished goods into the hands of the customer. Now, you may notice that I left out some departments or groups that are common in many Star Citizen organizations. I would initially not create the organization with a security group. I would delegate this responsibility for security to the members of each group, the mining group, the manufacturing group, the sales group. They're all in charge of their own security. And they can manage it as they seem fit. If you find that you are being attacked often, that you're taking heavy losses due to pirates or incursions, then at that point it may be better to specialize and create a separate security group so you can benefit from specialized training. But I just don't see it necessary at the very beginning. Another thing I would consider is a cellular layout. Say your mining organization focuses on selling 4 main metal products: aluminum, copper, tungsten, and uranium. One way to organize things is to use the traditional approach, which is so the mining group is in charge of all of mining for all the 4 minerals. The manufacturing group is in charge of producing all 4 finished products, and the sales group sells all 4 groups. But that's not what I personally would do. What I would do is have a person in charge of each of those products. And so you would have a aluminum division, a copper division, a tungsten division, and a uranium division. And each division would have its own mining, manufacturing, and sales groups. And each division would be completely independent from each other and able to adjust their processes as they seem fit. This allows you to, well, first it would encourage some friendly competition, and that's something that you have to keep in mind so there's not a lot of, unfriendly competition, let's call it. It can be a little bit stressful when you pit teams against each other. But, it would facilitate pointing out issues and seeing which division is performing better and is more profitable, and try and copy what they're doing into the other divisions. And it would also allow each division to specialize. So for example, the mining group for aluminum doesn't need to know the ins and out of copper, tungsten, uranium. They can just streamline mining for aluminum. And same for manufacturing. There will be a lot of quality assurance steps, and whatever it is that you're doing as your final product, what you do with aluminum may be different from what you do with uranium, right? I can imagine that with uranium maybe you'll do bullets somehow, but with aluminum maybe you're doing, window frames. So they're 2 very different things. And so by having them separate, you allow that process to be better designed for that individual product, which translates into a better service for your end customer. I hope I answered your question, GameFlake. That's how I would structure a Star Citizen mining organization. It's very basic. I hope you found this interesting, and I look forward to your comments and everybody else's comments. Once again, special thanks to you, GameFlake, for the idea. The Pur'N'Kleen Podcast is a free Star Citizen podcast aimed at tackling the business side of the verse. It is available every Monday, but you can also get it in written format by signing up for the newsletter in the show notes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Last but not least, if you are looking for a business-oriented organization, please do check us out at pur'n'kleen.com.